Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender regime boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So Jaron Ennis is about to rematch Karen Chukazian, arguably his toughest match to date. The guy that people would say gave him the most trouble, stylistically, a fight where he didn't look super dominant or as dominant that as he normally looks in other fights. The fight went 12. Chukazian was very elusive, very reluctant to stand there and exchange with Jaron Ennis for good reason. But I mean, it's a fight at the end of the day, so you can't expect to win moving as much as Karen did without actually showing any type of initiative on offense. You feel what I'm saying? Without standing your ground and, trying to counter some shit that Jaron throwing or even be first at times. You really didn't see much of that in the first fight. But Karen, though he lost that fight, he did something that nobody else had been able to do, which was make Jaron Ennis look human. And I want to talk about the rematch and why it's important. Now, we already know that Jaron Ennis wanted to fight my man from Atlanta, Brian Norman Jr. That was supposed to be the fight. That was the fight that got fans about a month ago, got fans all excited at the possibility of that fight. Two young, undefeated, talented, athletic champions at the 147-pound division, especially looking at the landscape of 147 with Earl Spence gone, Terrence Crawford gone. It's a new wave at 147, and this would have been the perfect way to kick that off, right? A perfect way for these young guys to stake their claim, to make their claim in that division. But that fight didn't, happen. It didn't get made. Not to say that it won't happen down the line, but because of business reasons, I'm pretty sure most of y'all followed the story, it didn't happen. So now, Jaron Ennis is left with fighting Karen Chukazian for a second time. Now, the first fight wasn't it wasn't a blowout because Jaron really couldn't land shit and Karen wasn't trying to land shit. Jaron won that fight off of pure come forward, aggressive behavior and ring general shit. Really just being the one that's pushing the fight forward, throwing punches, and he did land some stuff here and there, but nothing significant because Karen was so, mobile and elusive the whole fight. So it wasn't like it was a super competitive fight to where it warranted a rematch in that regard. But the reason why the rematch makes sense, the reason why this fight, in my opinion, is important is because this is more so a test or a checkup, if you want to call it that, an update on Jaron Ennis. Has he made the adjustment? Because you're going to see fighters maybe not as mobile. Look, I ain't going to lie. It ain't too many guys in the sport of boxing with legs like Karen Chukazian. Ain't too many motherfuckers out here moving like that. Just keeping it all the way 100. But you are going to face fighters who are fleet of foot. You're going to face guys that primarily like to fight off the back foot. You're going to face guys who are primarily outboxers and don't really want to sit there and exchange with you and let you get your shit off. Non-stationary guys, you gonna fight fighters like that. And you got to know how to deal with that style. And Jaron Ennis didn't cut the ring off very well in that first fight. He was visibly frustrated at times in that fight. And that's a mental thing that I want to see mental progression in this fight versus in this rematch. I want to see the ability to cut the ring off. See, has he sharpened up in that area? I want to see if his ring generalship has gotten better, being able to position guys where you want them in the ring so you can control the distance, the range, and the leverage and be able to get them where you want to hit them. You feel what I'm saying? This fight is important because I think for Jaron Ennis, man, his ceiling is so high in terms of ability. You see the skill set is there. You see the natural God-given talent is there. The work ethic is obviously there. The dude is a gym rat. He stay in the gym. He always focused, always working, always on his shit in terms of training and preparation. You know, but you still have to be able to go out there and execute, and you have to be able to make adjustments in the fight. The fight versus Avanesian in his last fight in Philly. Now, this fight, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to be in his hometown in Philly on DAZN. Shout out to Jesse Bam Rodriguez from San Antonio, Texas. He's supposed to be, he's fighting on that same card, so they headlining together, which is dope. Two young, hot, up-and-coming guys, you know, could be stars in the sport. So this is a dope look for both fighters, but especially for Jaron Ennis, you in your hometown. I believe it is in Philly, if I'm not mistaken. And bruh, you gotta put on. You gotta go out there and do what you supposed to do. You know, in the fight versus Avanesian, I felt like, you know, he was maybe a little rust. You know, maybe a little overzealous because you at the crib. Now this your second fight headlining at the crib. So you should be a little bit more settled in and a little bit less reckless and more poised to take advantage of the opportunities that your opponent gonna present to you. You feel me? I think this right here is gonna really show us where Jaron Boots is mentally, where he's at in terms of skill. Has he made the adjustment? Has he been working on being able to cut the ring off? Now, am I saying that Jaron Ennis have to go in here and stop Karen? Would it be nice? Hell yeah. Would it make a statement? Hell yeah. To stop a guy that you barely couldn't even touch in the first fight and you stop him in a rematch? Hell yeah. You know, that would definitely make a statement. Am I saying that he has to stop Karen? No. But I want to see a way better performance offensively. I want to see maybe a knockdown. I want to see some significant punches landed. I want to see some traps set. You feel me? And I think another interesting aspect of this fight is that Karen, for him to take this rematch, we can say he was scared in the first fight and he was running. You feel me? You can say that, but obviously he feel like he taking this fight again. So that let me know, number one, he might feel a certain way about the fact that he know he can go 12. He know he can last in that bitch with Jaron Ennis. He did it before. Another thing is this time is for a championship. You feel me? It was a title eliminator the first time around, but this time there's an actual title on the line for Karen Chukazian. So I think we might get, which would be in the best interest of Jaron Ennis, a guy who is more willing to lay it on the line because it's more on the line. So that might play in the hands of Jaron Ennis, but I think those things are something to think about because you got a guy who may be a little bit more confident. He might be able to take that elusive style and add to it, be super elusive and mobile, but then also be able to get some offense off too. He probably been working on some shit. He probably been watching film and studying and preparing for this moment again. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be a lot to consider in this fight. I really want to see this fight, bro. Just from a progression standpoint for Jaron Ennis, I really want to see if he made the adjustment. I really want to see if he learned how to cut the ring off. I want to see if he putting it all together because this right here is going to be a pivotal moment to show me what he's going to look like down the line versus other guys who are way more advanced in skill than Karen, who may not be able to move exactly like him, but can move and put that other shit on top of it too, that shit that's dangerous. That, you know what I mean? So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What do y'all think about this fight? You know, are y'all looking at and looking for the same things that I'm paying attention to in terms of what this fight means for Jaron Ennis? You know what I mean? For his progression. You feel me? For his for his maturation in the game. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.